So we're going to take some time now and talk about persuasion, negotiation, and listening, which is the foundation of everything. Let's start with influence or persuasion. Now, Dr. Robert Cialdini wrote a book called Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion. And I've given you a YouTube link here. So this is narrated by Dr. Robert Cialdini and his colleague Steve Martin, who are co-authors of 2 books, Yes and The Small Big. And I'll summarize the laws of influence. Dr. Cialdini would say that, as human beings, our brains are so busy and we've got so much on our mind that we take shortcuts when we're making decisions. And through his research and studies, he's identified 6 of the shortcuts that we take. So I'm going to go through those with you right now in summary. The first shortcut is the law of reciprocity. In other words, we feel an obligation to give when we receive. So when the neighbor invites you over, you want to invite them back, especially if that gift is really genuine and is unexpected. Number 2 is the law of scarcity. So we're drawn to what we risk losing. We see more benefits in things which are unique, right? And we value those more highly. Number 3 is the law of authority. In other words, we value information from credible, knowledgeable experts. We trust the physiotherapist with the certificate on our wall more than we trust the quack in the dodgy mall or strip mall. So authority is important. Number 4 is the law of consistency. So we equate consistency with logic and strength, right? So our compliance and agreement goes up if we've already made some small and voluntary active public agreements. An example of that is if you go to the dentist and you write down your own appointment, you're more likely to keep that appointment than if the dentist assigns you to that appointment. With the law of liking, as human beings, we define ourselves with in and out groups. Right? That's our survival. We need to define our in group, the group that we like, or the group that we're about. So we're more likely to agree to someone who's similar with us, who pays us compliments, who shares a mutual goal with us. We have trust with our in groups, and we're more likely to be persuaded by somebody from within our in group. Number 6 is the law of consensus. So we're sheep, we are. We're human beings. So we're compelled to follow the momentum of others. I was in a hotel this week in Edmonton, actually, and as usual, there was a card at my sink that said that the environment is important and therefore I should reuse my towels. And they offered me the opportunity to do that. So they went to a benefit in order to get me to persuade me to rehang my towel. But imagine if they'd said 75% of the people who stay in this room reuse their towels. Now I'm starting to think a little bit more guiltily, like I should join that group and be one of the people who uses my towel. That's the law of consensus. So let's take it back to you as an HR professional. What can you do knowing to be more influential or more persuasive given these 6 laws?